You've spent the most time in your life laughing with? You don't have that, right? Like, there's somebody that, like, you've laughed with them more than anyone else, right? This is that guy. He's been my friend for a long time, since high school. What was it, like 10 years ago? So I'm going to bring him up. It's going to make you laugh. Give a warm welcome to my friend Chris Fletcher, everybody.
I have not earned that yet. And I have notes, because it is my first time and I'm scared shitless. Now, speaking of being scared shitless, it's been said earlier tonight and probably better, but you know the old adage where if you get nervous, you picture people in their underwear. I learned a few years ago there's a better way, and this is really unsavory, I apologize, but picture them, like if you're dealing with a really attractive person of the opposite sex, you're just really having trouble, like, you know, not jittering. Picture them with half a shit hanging out of their ass. I know, it's unsavory, but seriously, no one can keep it together when they're about to shit themselves, and it really works. So, I'm sorry guys, the bathroom joke there. So, I'm an optician. I've been an optician for about a quarter of a century almost, actually. I'm an optician at Costco. There's Costco people here, but anyway. So, I know I'm giving a cheap applause. But anyway, being an optician at Costco, I do sometimes feel like, you know, when I tell people, hey, I'm an optician, but I'm at Costco, that they're thinking like, so I'm a lawyer, but at McDonald's. I just don't feel like I command the respect. I've been married almost 20 years, and we have one kid. We decided a while back that we only wanted the one kid, which is a really awkward conversation for the twins. After a quick fight to the death. My wife is actually the primary breadwinner in the family, which I really like. And she's also the smart one, and the funny one, so sorry. But I've had people over the years like tell me when they find this out, they're like, oh, doesn't that feel kind of emasculating? And well, first of all, that's weirdly sexist, because, you know, but at the time that someone asked me that, legitimately I weighed over 360, and I had boobs bigger than most of my female coworkers. So no, money wasn't making me feel emasculated. It was my gigantic breasts. So I've worked on that, I'm still fat. So I actually came into some money recently, which, by the way, is not a fetish I recommend, because I get a lot of paper cuts. And there's a certain... Oh, you like the dirty stuff. There's a certain, like, weary, immeasurable sadness wiping genetic material from the face of the great emancipator. That was the end of the joke. No, I used to get depressed a lot, like a lot of people deal with depression when they're younger, which is, you know, a serious thing. I don't deal with it anymore, for the most part. I get depressed every once in a while, but I decided a long time ago that if I was going to kill myself, I would sit on my hand for a while first, so it was like someone else was doing it. kind of a cheap thrill to end it on. I know, I'm sorry. But I legitimately am really, really bad with money. I recently paid $50 to rent a Tux medicated pad, and there's no way I'm getting that deposit back. No, it's bad. Going back to the joke, I only have a minute left. Going back to that joke, the dirty joke, the come into money joke, I work with a lot of really interesting people who have a superpower to turn everything you say into innuendo. I mean, seriously, they're the most, that's what she said, saying motherfuckers on the planet. So that was for them, but for serious, I realized recently the only innocent person in my life is my 4-year-old son. And I could say something innocent to him that would sound completely filthy to everyone else. So I could walk up to him and say, you know what, Graham, your mother has the most beautiful face I've ever come across. It's sweet to him, It sounds terrible to you, but you're all adults and you're jaded. But the thing is, I ruined it, because now that's the only compliment I give his mother in front of him. And I'm going to keep doing that until he's about 9, because at some point I'm going to stop, and at some point he's going to reflect on his relationship, or my relationship with my wife, probably at my funeral. And he's going to realize what I actually said to him all those years. And if it is my funeral, I won't be there to see the crestfallen expression when his life is completely ruined and he realized he was talking about doing terrible things to his mother right in front of him. All right, well, just to finish it up because we're about done here. You can't place love with sex because otherwise Philadelphia would be known as the city of brotherly sex. There's a weak one to go out on.